Hey everyone, Denieve here, and today I would love to share with you why October and November is my most favorite months of the year. Um, the fact is, October is Halloween and fun, but aside from that, October is the month that I use to prepare for NaNoWriMo. And if you are not familiar with what NaNoWriMo is, according to their website, NaNoWriMo, or National Novel Writing Month, is a fun, seat of your pants approach to creative writing. On November 1st, participants begin working towards the goal of writing a 50,000 word novel by 11:59 p.m. on November 30th. Now, I participated in NaNoWriMo for the first time last year, and that was a really great experience for me as a writer, and it made me a better writer in the process. It pushed me to complete my goals, and at the end of it I had a novel that turned out to be, it didn't feel like a novel, it felt like a collection of short stories. So what I ended up doing with that was breaking it into 5 short stories and submitting those to various competitions. And obviously the experience, like I said, was a good one for me, and this year I am going through NaNoWriMo again. So I decided that I would take you along my journey of writing my second novel, and well, completing my second novel with the NaNoWriMo process. And it is important, if you are in if you intend to finish, or if you intend to be successful at it. For me anyway, it helps to have a plan, and from what I read online with blogs and other participants of NaNoWriMo, it makes sense for you to plan. So right now I am in the process of planning this second novel. So that is another reason why October is my most fun month ever. Aside from the fact that some of my good friends are born in October. Yay! So how do I go about writing? And I guess is one of those questions that people will ask at some point. Where you get your inspiration from? How do you do the whole writing process and whatever? For me, it's kind of twofold. Sometimes, most times, and it usually starts with an idea, and then you develop the idea. Something weird happen, like you wake up and there's a word, or you wake up and you go, what if, and it kind of develops from there. Or you are just sitting minding your own business and you overhear a part of a conversation, and it kind of make you go, and then things develop from there. Sometimes words flow so freely, so easily, and everything is easy, and at other times you sit there and you go, and you make this face and or you find yourself just doing housework or all kinds of other things just so that you're not writing. And sometimes I actually do that. So for me, in order to ensure that I am successful in the whole NaNoWriMo process, I'm going to show you what I am doing right now, and the resources that I found fun, or found useful, or found helpful, and we'll go through them, and you know how far it is. that my novel is. So this week, actually, this week is kind of like last week, and technically probably some weeks past, depending on when you're watching this. But here's the thing: the first week I was more finding out who my main characters were. So I found this, I think it was on Writers Right, and it is basically who is your main character, and it is asking for your character's full name, any hobbies, their ethnicity, their birthday, their places they like to visit, places they have visited, things they're proud of, so on, just backstory. Blah 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 blah. And for that week, it was just general plot outlines and getting to know who the character is. Like I said, most of my writing starts with questions like suppose, or what if. And to be honest with you, I forced myself to do 3 things in the week. One was develop the characters and backstories, write a decent plot outline, or whatever decent is for you. What was the next thing? Character plot outline. Boil down what essentially a novel will be into 2 sentences, kind of like a TV guide of your novel, the TV guide description of your novel. So what I ended up with was my novel will be a coming of age story about what was it? A coming of age story, and God, yeah, it's a coming of age story. Let's put it at that. And I can't remember the other parts of it because I don't have it here with me right now because I'm not where I'm supposed to be with it. But whatever. And what else? So that's 2. And the last thing was, one was the general plot outlines, that TV guide. Oh, and have a title. Kind of, it doesn't have to be the title that you are going to use in the end, because things develop, and as they develop you will change or go, oh yeah, I was boss and I got it right the first time. But I have 2 working titles. The first one is A Year in a Day, and that is part of the story, is what happens when you go through this period of lull, and that is what happens with the character. They're initially when you meet them, they are in the nothing now go on kind of phase, and then over time everything that could possibly happen to them happens to them in such a short period of time, and it's just a year in a day. Everything that would happen in a year happens in a day. And another title that I am somewhat liking is I can't remember. It's something about birds, but the day the birds disappeared or something to that. But that is part of the novel. And the novel is set in a world that is kind of like Kiki's Delivery Service meets Full Metal Alchemist meets Cosmos. and it is, well, part, it's not magic centered and it's not kind of like that, but is one of those questions is, what would happen if everyone was a scientist per se, and the odd people were the ones who were averse or not scientists. It sounds, but don't worry, it will be good. So, oh, they live in the trees. That's the second working possible title of the novel, is They Live in the Trees. So some of the questions that I was working with was, what if the new humans saw in ultraviolet? Because I like the idea of how sight affects how we perceive everything, and the fact that if we saw differently as opposed to the rainbow colors of how we see and perceive light, suppose we saw in ultraviolet, suppose we saw in radio waves, how, suppose we saw, you know, so how that affects how we interact with the world. And you know, suppose we could see in the dark, and like, I can't, kind of like that. What if you woke up one morning and there were no birds and they all disappeared? What if the first time, I don't know, that's kind of not YouTube friendly. What if every time you heard music you had diarrhea? Okay. let's move on. So yeah, that is the first three goals, and they kind of took care of themselves last week. So this week is the world building aspect of it, and that's where we are right now. What kind of world they live in, what are the rules of this world, and can you fly in this world? No, you cannot. Do you have a broomstick that can fly? Possibly. That is the basis of what this week is. I will definitely give you more updates on what I do in terms of my novel, and then if you are also participating in NaNoWriMo, then we can be NaNoWriMo writing buddies, because I ain't got one yet. And yeah, I think that should be it. That should cover it. Yeah, like I said, it helps to have a plan. It helps when you know what you're doing and things kind of work themselves out along that line. Like I said, go from a twofold setting where I do plotting, and I kind of after that let the characters just do whatever the hell they want to do, depending on, sometimes during the writing process you find out that your character is not how you initially thought they were, and you just let that work, and you just let that roll. And especially since you have this serious time crunch situation, where it's not even time crunch, it sounds like, no, it's not like that. When you set yourself deadlines to be accomplished during, you know, the course of the November period each day, and the fact of the matter is that it helps. So when you know what you're doing, so, and I think the best way I could share with you is this proverb that I came across that says, trust in Allah and then tie it camel. It's kind of like that, you know, that if you write free or if you just do plots, either way, the point is that you are prepared and you are ready, and you are going to have a 50,000 word novel at the end of it. So that was my post. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know if it helps in the comments. Let me know if you are going to be participating in 2014 NaNoWriMo, and that's it. Later. Bye. Love and peace. Bye.